Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and Assalamu alaikum. Dear students, our today's lesson is related to again from your chapter evolution. Today we will discuss all those evidences which are given by the different naturalists that the evolution has occurred over the time. So 5 areas of scientific study provide the evidence for the evolution. These are fossil record, evidence from the comparative anatomy, evidence from the comparative embryology, evidence from the molecular biology, and evidence from the biogeography. So we will discuss the details of all these evidences one by one. First of all, we will see what are the evidences given by the fossil records. The progression of the forms observed in the fossil record is consistent with the other references about the major branches of the descent in the tree of life. Here you're watching that the different types of evolution which are given by the about the which the theories are represented by the different type of naturalist, and the fossil records also consistent with them. So Darwinian view of life that predicts that the evolutionary transition should leave the signs in the fossil record. Paleontologists have discovered fossils of many such transitional forms. Here we're watching the transitional forms of the dinosaurs, that how they transition occurs in them, and for this transition evidences are provided by the naturalist in the form of the fossil records. Next evidence is given from the comparative anatomy, that the study of the anatomical structures and the evolutionary relationships. These could be homologous structures, analogous structure, and the vestigial structures. First of all, we will read about the homologous structures, are the anatomical resemblances between the organism that represent the variations on a structural theme that was present a common ancestor. Here you're watching that the hand of the human, cat, whale, and the bat have some homology. Now we will read about the analogous structures, superficial similarities that reflect an adaptation reflective of similar environment, not a descent from the common ancestry. Now the third form of the comparative anatomy is the vestigial structures. These are the remnants of the structures that served important functions in the organism ancestors, but these become vestigial organs or the structure in the present day organisms. The next evidence is given from the comparative embryology. Close related organisms go through the similar stages in the embryonic development. All the vertebrate embryos go through a stage in which they have the gill pouches and the tails. So in this way, it is considered that all the mammals have the common ancestry. The molecular biology. The third evidence is given from the molecular biology, that the scientists examine the nucleotides of the DNA and the amino acid sequences of the proteins from the different species. Closely related species share higher percentages of the sequences than the species that are distantly related. And the fourth evidence is given from the molecular biology, that the more than 98% of the DNA sequences are identical in humans and the chimpanzees. And the last evidence is given from the biogeography, that the use of the geography to describe the distribution of the species. The organisms which are closely related to each other, they use the same biogeography. So all these evidences provide that the evolution has occurred over the time period. So this is all about the evidences of the evolution. Thank you and Allah Hafiz.